Beast Mode New York,
Beast
back
mode.
here, ready to give you another podcast. Hopefully, we have enough to talk about after last night's premiere. Pretty sure we'll make it though.
Yeah.
It was definitely action packed, a lot to talk about, like I said, and
It was amazing.
it was.
It was absolutely amazing.
Had a great time sitting there for. Well, I wish I could say a full 90 minutes, but those damn commercials, man. Can we ban
Came out
commercials?
to like an hour and 4 minutes.
Yeah. Can we
without the
ban?
commercials?
Can we sign a petition to ban commercials for The Walking Dead?
I would love it.
That would be absolutely amazing. So interesting week. Kind of I gotta get something off my chest.
Oh boy.
It's these shootings that are going on around the nation.
Ridiculous.
It's disturbing. I've been a proud, law-abiding gun owner and carrier since 2004. I'm ex-law enforcement. I have a big background in security, and it's disturbing to see this happening to our nation's children. Like
Why do you think this is happening more now?
I would listen if I had the answer.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be happening anymore.
That's a
You
broad
know,
question.
but I just want to touch on this quickly so we can get to the real, why we're really here. But um, we have servicemen that fight for our country, and they come home after they're done serving our country, and a lot of them have zero jobs. They can't find work. What is stopping our great United States of America from employing them, from finding work for them, and what other job would be better suited for them is to protect our families and our children.
And these are the people we should be taking care of the most.
Absolutely, and they get paid. They get paid crap,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why why somebody can't step up and Congress, Senate, President. Why can't somebody step up and say, you know, we got to do something about protecting our children. Whether it's a college student to a kindergartner, they all deserve safety. They all deserve being protected, and it's just what I just want to
Because their
know.
agendas are all screwed up,
I
in
just
my
want,
opinion. I just think they're all about what they think looks good for them.
I just want to know what it would take to do that, to make that happen. These are trained people. They have protected us in war. Why can't they work at the the elementary schools, the middle schools, the high schools, the colleges, the state universities? Just you know, there's no reason to me why this can't be done. Even retired law enforcement. It doesn't have to be military. It
Mhm.
just the amount of jobs that we could create
Mhm.
doing that.
That's
It's
part of the problem. That's what everybody has an issue with, is that there's no jobs. And like I said before, these are the
and
people that we need to be taking care of the most.
absolutely, man.
They made the
So
biggest sacrifice. They've done things that a lot of people aren't brave enough to do.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
and they get no reward for it.
Mhm.
Most of them get absolutely nothing, and
Yeah.
it's bothersome.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get that off my chest. Listen, I fully agree that everybody needs to be screened. The screening process needs to be done across the board. We live in New York, and it's very strict. And some of these other states don't have. You can just walk in and basically buy whatever you want and walk out. And I think that's primarily where a lot of these issues are happening, is where you have people who have some kind of mental, whether it's mental,
Yeah.
they need
Disabilities.
medication or whatever they might need.
Stop the bullshit.
Yeah,
Basically, is what it comes down
seriously,
to.
and just
Just cut the shit.
let due process. Let these people get um, the proper checks, and
Mhm.
and then that's got to be that's got to be it. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get into what we're really here for. Um, The Walking Dead premiere season 6.
Long time waiting for this.
Man, I was
And they
so
delivered.
excited. They really did.
They delivered.
There's people out there that say that they wanted more. They didn't.
What?
They, They thought that
Everybody always wants
I'm
more.
reading these.
Enough is never good enough.
I'm reading these people on Twitter, and like everybody, some people are saying, oh, I wanted it to be different. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but
Mm.
in my eyes,
I heard a
it
lot of
was,
complaints about the black and white part of it.
I didn't mind it. I thought it
Yeah.
separated the show
People were
from.
confused by it though. Some people were confused
I
by
don't
it.
know how you got to you're
No, it
showing.
makes sense.
Yeah,
No,
you're
it makes
showing
sense.
past and present. You're
Yeah.
showing how it led to what you were watching
Yeah.
happen.
No.
But and
I
then
liked it.
I definitely did too. And there's people out there like, oh, they should have just firebombed all those zombies. And I'm
With
like,
what?
well, how
I
many?
mean, quite honestly, I try to think of a different way to do it, and I
Yeah,
couldn't come up with a
you
different
you'd
way.
you'd
Not that
run
I'm a master at this,
not
but
enough ammo. You'd
yeah.
waste all your ammo. You can't stab them all.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, I would have lit them on fire. I'm like, okay, well,
There's not enough gasoline in the world now that could light
and
her that quickly.
yeah, and I mean, even if you did, okay, so you burnt them all in the first 5 minutes of the show.
We could do it in black and white though.
I I guess for the next hour, I'm just gonna, I don't know,
Just
watch
watch them
boring
burn.
dialogue.
Yeah. No.
I'm like, they that would make it anticlimactic.
No.
Like they lit them all on fire, and hey, all the zombies are
Right.
gone. But
Some people just like to complain.
yeah, exactly. They need to be heard, which is fine. That's why we're here. We're here to
Yes.
hear you, and we're here to tell you you're wrong.
Completely.
All right, so our let's touch on our scenario Sunday from last week.
Yes, we didn't get to finish that.
Yeah, well, we
We didn't get to do it
right,
actually.
we put it out there for our listeners. The the scenario Sunday, and that was, what would you do if someone you loved, family member, friend, got bit, and they were going to turn.
We got a
So
bunch of responses from
yeah,
that.
I'm
We got a few.
the
I'm
the
happy with it.
the status quo. Everybody leaned towards killing them before they turned.
Yep. A few of them let them die human, and then kill them after. A few kill them before they turn,
Right.
and then a lot of it generate. Surrounded by. They'd probably wait because it would be hard for them to,
Yeah.
like you were discussing, say goodbye to the person. And,
Right.
you know,
I just wouldn't wanna. I just wouldn't wanna do that to the person that I knew.
yeah.
Once again, obviously it's scenario sensitive
Hmm.
because if you're on the run, and everything usually goes bad when you're on the run.
Yeah, it's
And
probably easier in that situation, anyways, because
it,
it's like, oh, you're bit, okay, you're dead. I just pull the trigger.
I'm gonna have to shane you.
Yeah, here we
We're
go again.
going back to the shaning. Um,
To make a shirt like that.
yeah, we should. Yeah, well, and that's coming in our future. Once we get our webpage up and running, you guys will be able to go there and check out some Beast merchandise.
Yeah.
So there's no official timeline on that,
We gave
but
one away this week, didn't we?
yeah, we did. We had a winner.
It was actually our tech guy,
Yeah, our tech
our
guy,
buddy Mike.
who actually he just stepped right into this and decided he was going to help us one day, knowing absolutely nothing about what he's helping with.
Yeah.
And there was a couple people out there. It was a group effort. I'll give it that. There was people out there. It was solve the acronym for Beast, and and it took a while.
Yeah. I was amazed. I was watching this and
It took a while.
it was
It was like
intense.
over a day. It took. I was like, wow. But Beast, if you haven't already found out, it stands for Big East uh, Alliance Zombie Team.
Mm-hmm. The
And
A screwed everybody up.
yeah, it did.
It came down to
Alliance really got everybody banged up bad. But
It's made it better.
yeah, Big East Alliance Zombie Team, and so that was fun. We
Yeah.
got to give away a shirt, gift card.
I was supposed to be working. I was watching that.
Yeah, that's okay. I was supposed to be working too, and I was doing it. I'm the one. I was posting everything, but our jobs are boring, so whatever. All right, so some topics we can clean up from last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was base camps. Like, what would be your ideal setup? Where would you wanna? Would you wanna try
This
to?
is a big one because I asked a lot of guys at work. I asked a few people, random people.
Hmm.
My buddy John at work came up with an interesting one.
Oh.
It actually came up in Fear the Walking Dead, which I finished finally,
Okay.
and I thought it was awesome. But the last episode was awesome.
Mr.
But,
Change his mind.
Yeah. He went with the boat idea, but
I was-
he came up with he said he would plate it. You have to armor it. You have to have weapons on there. But he would be out on the water. He said.
And and this goes back to something that we talked about a really long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that was finding an offshore oil rigger. And like think about it, those things would stand storms on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
They're
To
out in the
me, it's
middle of
just
the
so much
ocean.
that can go wrong.
Yeah, of course, but you're nowhere near mainland.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond that,
Besides having to go on supply runs.
and if something happens, what are you gonna do to fix it? You have to
Oh, I wouldn't worry about.
fuel it
Oh,
and
come
just
on.
let it float. You just let it
Yeah,
float out there.
yeah. It's on giant
All right.
stilts in the middle of the ocean. It's not,
All that.
who needs? I don't gotta maintain this
Yeah,
thing.
that's
I don't.
true.
It's not making me
That's true.
money. I don't gotta worry about
That's
making it.
true.
So. But yeah, that's just one of my way out of the box
So that's what you
thoughts.
would do.
Well, like I said, thinking out of the box.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I were to really think about it,
Mhm.
I'd go to Costco. Endless supplies of.
Nobody's gonna have that idea.
Nobody. No one's gonna be like, let me go to
have
a
that.
Costco.
Nobody's gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Costco, which is a giant wholesale food place. If you don't know what a
Yeah.
Costco is, um, I would have to overrun it. I'd have to Ricktatorship the
Dictatorship.
Costco. Yeah,
You
we're
need a lot.
taking
You
it.
need a lot of people for that.
No,
To manage that, like to hold it down, because
yeah, yeah.
once people see that sign,
That or high
they
ground.
see
You gotta
wholesale and they're gonna.
high ground always wins. You got to go somewhere high, and we have mountains, whatever. You, you have vantage point,
Mhm.
360,
I
something with
gave
360
this
vantage
a
point.
tremendous amount of thought actually, and I came down to I would just be on the move constantly.
And I think that's pretty much the theory. You just can't settle down.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. They even touched on it in The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Like,
you're always gonna. Someone is always going to want what you have and
mhm,
try to take it. It's gonna be a constant road tour.
mhm,
You're definitely gonna be moving.
mhm. I
So.
think that's the best way, and I mean, it's probably not the safest way to do it, but
Mm,
that's probably what I would go with.
you One of the other topics we want to finish talking about is weapons.
Hmm. Let's
Uh,
do the whole bag though. Let's put together a bag.
our bug out bag.
Yeah, let's everything in total. So we'll start with the weapons since that was the question.
Yeah. You know,
You
uh,
get three.
three
Let's
weapons.
go. We'll go with three.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with my
Because you're
Glock.
just gonna have a handful of weapons just running
Yeah.
through the woods.
I'm gonna definitely going with my Glock.
Hmm.
Um, you can find ammo for Glock 9, Glock 40 very very easily.
Hmm.
It's everywhere.
Hmm.
And it's a very popular weapon
Hmm.
as far as pistols go.
Right. It's
There's
easy to manage.
exactly you could bury that thing in the dirt,
Hmm.
in the mud, and take it out at any time, and it'll fire for you.
Hmm.
Very trustworthy. The second one would be some kind of bladed object, whether it would be a machete, hatchet.
Hmm.
I wouldn't pick an. I wouldn't grab an axe, just because
It's
swinging it
heavy,
too
man.
heavy.
Yep.
Right, unless you got like a real lightweight, durable tomahawk
Hmm.
type thing.
Right.
And then my third one would be something heavy artillery, not heavy artillery, but something that if I needed to clear a crowd with, I could do that, and I'd probably get like
You're gonna Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just go with the giant Gatling gun,
no
clearing the woods like for Predator.
I'd probably just
Get out.
AK. I'd probably get an AK.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
and try
the
to
most durable
try to
weapon.
silence it somehow.
Yeah,
Because I mean that's obviously the
they
biggest
always
issue.
they silence those weapons in the show. I don't know. I guess they just make their own. I think Rick had
They,
a flashlight.
yeah, yeah.
Carl had like a street cone on it. The other
Yeah,
I
what
don't
was
know.
that thing?
I don't, I don't,
Looked like a beehive
like a
at the end of his
it's like a ray
barrel.
gun.
But
Hmm.
real quick, after
Hmm.
watching the marathon that led up to season 6,
Hmm.
I want to the turning point for Carl, where that kid just the switch went off,
Hmm.
is when he had to off his own mother
That was crazy.
and then shot the kid handing over the gun in front of Herschel.
Did you see Herschel's face?
Yeah,
He's
Herschel.
he's like, oh,
I think
oh,
Herschel.
maybe I should have pulled the bullet out of this kid. This kid
He
is a problem.
he definitely shit a biscuit on that
Nah.
one. And then he went back and told
Oh,
Rick, and Rick was just like, well, he said he was pointing the gun he drew, and
yeah.
Herschel was like, no,
No,
man,
no, no, no.
your kid's brain
He
is
just
flew the
offed
coop.
him. He
Yeah.
just offed him.
So that was just very interesting.
Yeah.
Rewatching all that stuff was great.
So I don't know what I would put in mine. think I would have to go with the 9mm also. So
Mm.
Beretta, I mean that's my favorite, but
Yeah, it's good.
bladed object, I'd probably go with the tomahawk.
Mm.
I'd have to old school it. Go with that, some type of military tomahawk. I know they're out there.
Yeah, I mean they make really nice
Then I
durable
would go
ones.
with probably like a longer range weapon.
Mm.
Like they have, it's like a SOCOM rifle. Something just if I'm further away
Right.
and I need to cover somebody that's moving or
Like a
something,
M1A1 or something
yeah,
like
something
that.
with a
Yeah.
scope that I can get downrange with,
Yeah.
and that'd be perfect.
Makes sense. I
What else
like
would
it.
you What else would you throw in your bag?
I would definitely have some kind of first aid kit.
Right.
Um, I would,
Bandages, peroxide, all that stuff.
yeah, but obviously not huge bottles of peroxide or alcohol.
Right.
I would, I try to have, the basics in that first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
Something to wrap up a wound with,
Mm-hmm.
iodine. Something for
Purified
disinfecting.
water.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I would. Yeah. And here's the thing. I would definitely keep, because they're light and you can pack a lot of them. Coffee filters, because you can use coffee filters to filter the water before you boil it.
Right.
You know. So I would definitely have coffee filters in my bug out bag.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea.
Definitely a change of underwear. Spare socks.
I don't know if I would bring underwear.
I
I think I would commando it throughout the zombie.
man.
I think I'm going commando to
a-
the zombie
A
apocalypse.
lot of running. That's a tremendous amount of chafing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Keep
good
baby
point.
powder on hand.
Yeah, good baby powder. Throwing that in there.
Maybe a blow dryer.
Right.
You can
You have a
you
little
can dry off
personal
the genitalia.
genitalia.
So yeah.
What about I think I would bring some type of rope.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would use it for.
Parachute cord.
But I'm gonna go with like some Boondock Saints stuff and just
Mhm.
you gotta get the rope.
Parachute cord's very, very durable.
Yeah.
You can use it for multiple things.
Some type of steel cable maybe because there's some steel cable. It's very
you gotta
thin.
remember you're adding weight.
It's true.
Steel cable. You
never
want
know when you
you want the
you never know when you're gonna need a rope. You never know when you
rifle.
need to hold a door down. So you need to tie something down. I mean, the steel cable has like these crimps that you can make a loop and it just crimps down on itself. And you holding the door, you got to keep it closed, and you don't want to sit there holding the thing.
Right. But think about your surrounding area though. You might be able to just find that stuff on the go.
That's true.
I mean, I'm trying to keep my bag light but very functional.
Bolt cutters. Small set of bolt cutters.
That's a damn good one. Yeah, bolt cutters.
Just thought of that.
A hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have a hammer because when all else fails, one of my bladed weapon breaks or whatever, that ball peen hammer's coming out and I'm cracking your head, putting holes in you, making rivet marks.
As you look right at me, as you say, I'm putting holes in you. Something goes down, you're in trouble.
Not you.
I know.
All right. So we have We have a special guest this week. Her name is Vanessa.
Vanessa! Is
that an air horn?
It's a hip hop horn.
Oh, okay, good. I like it. She is a graduate student. She is 22 years old, and she's volunteering to do this. And the reason why we brought her in, it's going to lead later on to when we end our show with the scenario. So this was just basically a few questions we have for someone that you might come across. Possibly you definitely will come across in the scenario of a zombie apocalypse. Someone who probably doesn't have as much knowledge or ever thought it was going to happen and come to fruition and just thought it was a big joke. Hey, that's just a show. Or, I thought that stuff only happened in video games. Whatever.
Do you think it's going to happen, Vanessa?
Do you really want me to answer that question?
Could you? You have a scientific kind of background. I know it's more health and physics based and stuff, but in your eyes, could it happen? Is there I know there's a possibility for everything. Could it possibly happen in your eyes?
I don't personally think it would be something where, people rise up from the dead type zombie thing, but we had talked about this a long time ago with mad cow disease, where people were eating that kind of meat and they were getting really sick and they were acting rabid and they were acting not themselves.
Right.
And I think something like that could develop into such a larger issue, and that so many people would be getting sick from whether it was something that they ate or some sort of drug that they took, to turn into some sort of creature.
I'm so excited
or zombie.
Right now. I'm so excited right now.
Well,
keep eating that bad meat.
Well, that's the thing with mad cow. It actually destroys your your way of thinking. Like it's almost
your
like
neural system.
yeah, it's almost like rabies attacks your brain. You know, it makes you.
Is that a bacteria?
I think it is a bacterial
Yeah.
infection. Yeah.
Right.
And then once it affects you, and then especially if it's something that's food based and people are eating it.
Yeah.
And then everybody eats it, and I mean I could see that being plausible. That's something that could be something that could happen.
But probably not. It's probably not something they couldn't contain. And probably
I don't know.
Is mad cow curable?
I think so.
I'm not even sure
You
it's
know what?
something that's
Let's ask the cow.
it's on the market
Let's
anymore.
go.
I'm not. Yeah. Well, I work. Here's a little background for you. I work in a hospital, and actually, 2 weeks ago, I believe I filled you in. We had someone who died from mad cow.
They don't tell you this? They don't quarantine the area?
They did. No, they had to.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, everything needed to be completely shut down. Mm-hmm. We had to shut down the whole area and have a crew go in and do an absolute. So what you don't know
is there was a zombie apocalypse inside the hospital.
You
just don't know.
How bad does that suck for me? Look at Rick and what
last time you worried about being dead. This time they locked you out.
Yeah. Man. If it ever happens and I'm at the hospital, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
I'm taking a lot of people as my victims. I'm just gonna be like, tossing.
I'm not missing this.
Tossing them towards the zombies. Here, you eat this one. You eat that one. I gotta go. I got kids I gotta save. Speaking of kids, hi son.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Been waiting
Xavier.
all night to say something.
I have my 9-year-old here. He's listening. That's why we're keeping it clean for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening this whole entire time, Dad.
Good. That's good. I'm sit back, enjoy. We'll keep it.
Learn.
We'll keep it low.
Okay.
Keep it low.
All right.
Remember, this is for observation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So back to Vanessa. So here are some of the questions we had for her, based on someone who, you will meet with just basic or average person that you might come across. Your knowledge as far as the zombie apocalypse, we basically just touched on that and what you believe,
Right.
and how you think it's plausible, as you said.
Yes, I think it's plausible. I'm not an avid Walking Dead fan, so I don't know as much as you guys.
You just made a lot of people sad right
now. I'm sorry. I'm going to get into it. That's the point. I'm just busy. Life's busy.
Well, yeah.
I got to take out
being
that.
a grad student.
Yeah.
You work. You got school, gym. Looking for your future. Right.
All that fun stuff.
The important thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you. So, do you know what actually kills them?
I do. I know that. Like a blow to the head or a bullet to the head or attacking them right to their head.
So some kind of head trauma.
Head trauma, yeah.
Ah, there it is.
Where the brains are.
All right. Do you know what attracts them? Like, if you were in this situation, like, would you know what to do to stay away from them? Do you know what attracts them and like what not to do?
I think it makes sense that noise would attract them. I mean, noise would attract anything. If you're making noise, you catch the attention of something. And I don't know if this is something that counts or not. I'm not, like I said, not a big fan. I mean, will be a big fan.
Wow.
I haven't watched. Retract that statement.
Crushed.
Everyone who listens to this,
just
turn us off.
I wonder if maybe smell is something.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
They can definitely smell because when they tried to leave Atlanta, remember they butchered up a couple of those things so that they would smell like the zombies. And that's the thing.
It's primitive.
Primitive. It's almost like a shark.
I don't even know what you call it, but they
smell
primitive
blood
functions.
Yeah, but that's the point. The blood.
They smell blood and they attack.
I mean, sweat.
Right.
They can smell sweat. I mean, everybody gives off some type of pheromone or something like that.
Is that a fact? They can smell sweat?
I don't know.
I'm screwed.
When you sweat, do you smell?
Did you see my shirt when I came home from the gym today?
So
terrible.
It was a smell.
It was a smell. That's why I did not wear that shirt home.
So wear a lot of deodorant.
Yeah. But if they can smell the deodorant, they're like, wow, someone's trying to cover up their stench.
Is that Old Spice? I think he's over here.
They're smart zombies. All right. So as far as where you would seek sanctuary, what kind of place would you want to surround yourself with? And don't say a library because you can't do that. You're not allowed to study in the zombie apocalypse.
Well, I'm a little upset because dialing it back a few minutes ago, I really had Costco on the mind. Swear to God.
I'm calling shenanigans on that.
I swear, when we were going over the questions, I was like, Costco's a really good idea.
So, Matt, you
And
know where
then-
Vanessa's going to be during the zombie apocalypse, right?
I'm gonna be on the move, and you guys are gonna be chilling in Costco.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna be snaring rabbits. You guys are gonna be living it up like kings and
Eating
queens.
like a muffin.
I wonder what Matt's doing right now as I'm sprinting down the road. Chris, Vanessa, let me
No,
in.
but it's true.
It is a good idea.
You've got your food there, and you've got an abundance of food. And I don't know why. I don't know what store I'm thinking of that not only has food but also has guns. I'm not sure if that's a fiction.
Walmart?
Maybe it is.
I mean, yeah. I tell you what, though, you would have a much harder time trying to take over a Walmart than you would a Costco.
Yeah,
because everybody's going to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
This is, they're going to be like,
Martha Stewart. She knows what she's doing.
Like, wow.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't think Costco sells.
No,
They probably don't.
They do have a
I
nice.
was gonna say Dick's, but then all you have there is like power bars, and so you don't really have any
if you
food
did
there.
it, but if you did it inside like a mall, like our mall,
Yeah.
then you're talking about
That's
having a
squash
control.
too, man. Because I'm a nerd and I play video games. There's
You're not allowed to play
Dead
video
Rising.
games.
Dead Rising. It was all in a mall,
Right.
and it was horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't even play it
A
because I
lot
was
of people
terrified
in a
of it.
mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be a catastrophe, I think. That would be something where you would have to pinpoint a store by surveilling it, like surveillance
Wait,
on.
but
on
they
like,
did that in not to cut you off.
No, it's
but they what was in Dawn of the Dead?
Mhm.
They did it in a mall.
Right.
And it worked out. I don't remember why they had to leave. I think they just got sick of it because they started running out of resources.
Didn't the woman? Is that the one where the woman gave birth?
Yeah. Baby zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby zombie. Right.
And
Exactly.
Tyrese, I
How
think was it
freaky
Tyrese
that?
had to kill
Baby
it?
zombie. Yeah. Good lord.
Yeah.
Okay, so your idea would be Costco.
Yes,
This is
Costco
something-
or fancy
Is
Walmart
it-
with guns and food.
Fancy Walmart.
Fancy Walmart.
I don't know if
I think there would be a bunch of Darryls there though. Like you got
Fancy
all.
Walmart.
I mean, if you shop at Walmart, I apologize. But
Hey,
you
listen.
would have some.
I gotta get my
Some-
T-shirt somewhere.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get them at Walmart. So okay, so that's good. Next question: what would be a necessity to you?
I think basic survival, with my limited knowledge of what basic survival is, food, of course.
Right.
But I from my understanding, that's not a huge availability in
Right, well,
the apocalypse. So
Yeah, everybody's fighting for it.
Yeah, so I think one of the most important things for me would be to find weapons, because if you can't protect yourself,
Hmm.
then you're out of luck. So,
And would you be able to do that? You think you'd be able to?
oh.
Do you think you'd be able to strike this thing? This it used to be a human being.
I mean,
Would there be a fear factor behind
Yeah,
it?
like-
oh,
like-
I would definitely be
Yeah,
scared shitless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, I have gone shooting before. I know how to shoot a gun.
Ooh.
So that's.
Didn't you post pictures of that?
I did. Yep.
How'd you guys do,
So-
by the way? I meant to ask you about that.
She did very well.
Because I was
Yeah.
jealous. I'm like, I had like a picture from like 4 years ago. I'm like, well, yeah, I just went shooting. I'm just going to post this. It's like the middle of the night.
But I also, I go to the gym. I lift heavy weights. So
Oh.
I like to think that I'm kind of a badass. I can.
She's not allowed in
Lift.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah. So.
She's a lunk alarmist.
Lunk alarmist.
So I like to think that even though I'd be scared, I would know if my life was on the line, I'd
You could-
rise to
You could take care of business.
I'd rise to the occasion of
Yeah.
slashing someone through the head or.
Would you prefer a bladed weapon over trying to aim a gun at a head?
I think I'd have to work on my target practice. I would prefer not to be anywhere near
Right.
something that could bite me and then
Yeah.
infect me and make me sick.
So your distance would be good.
It
so
would
maybe
be
like
good.
Maybe
But
like a long range pole, like a piece of rebar, which is, you know what, in my eyes, piece of
Or a
rebar.
bow and arrow or something.
Rebar would be
Oh, yeah, it could be
Rebar.
fun.
That's a good one.
like a 6 or 7 foot long piece of rebar, like just
Like a pike.
taking
Dude,
people
that's some
out.
medieval stuff right there. I like
Yeah,
it.
see?
I like it. I like it.
And you know what? I love the show. I love it to death. But I'm calling shenanigans. I'm calling shenanigans on The Walking Dead with Carl being up in a tower with a pistol shooting zombies that were probably about 50 to 60 yards away. There's headshots all over the place.
Well, the fact that they're shooting a gun and there's no recoil on it is they're just sitting there and their hands aren't moving.
Like I said, I love the show, but you can't. Not that you can't, but you're a child, and you're holding this gun and you're popping heads all over the place. And I'm just like, this is. I forgot about the shenanigans of this right now. Where I watched it the first time, I was like, that's really cool, and I watched it again. I'm like, shenanigans.
Yeah.
I can't even do that. Like, come on, Carl.
Miss once, please.
Coral.
Coral.
Come on, Coral. All right. So last question.
Core.
In your group or in your family, the people that you would be with, would you accept anyone that you came into contact with? Like one day you're with your group and here come Matt and I and we're grimy, dirty weapons and blood and we walk up and we knock on the door. We're like,
hey, we're friendly.
Like, hey, we just want some food and water and you have this gigantic Costco. I'm sure.
So I talked you out of it. Basically, that's what you just said. I talked you out of the Costco.
It's a scenario.
I'm just saying. I'm proud of my roaming idea. My roaming nomad.
I'm definitely gonna roam. I'm gonna be a scavenger, but I'm gonna bring whatever I have back to the Costco.
Yeah.
Because I have to keep it.
I'm saying in that situation, like, oh, Chris, where do you want to go?
I'm hitting the highways and I'm finding tractor trailers like a maniac.
Yeah.
I'm popping doors and I'm taking whatever's in there. I don't care if it's TVs and refrigerators. I'm taking them.
Got soap. Soap for months.
When this shit all turns back to normal, I'm gonna have stuff to sell. I'm gonna be like, who wants this TV?
Positive thinker.
Yeah.
When it's over.
Okay, so you come into contact. How would you go about accepting people? Would you how would you choose, and what questions do you think you would ask these people upon meeting them?
I don't know if at that point I would be naive enough to say, oh, you're hiding from the zombies, you want to come stay with me, come stay with me. I think in a life or death situation, I probably would be less likely to invite someone into my Costco and say, sure, come on in, take, my ammo while I'm sleeping, or take my food while I'm sleeping.
Or kill me and just take over the Costco.
Yeah, see, I guess that's a concept I'm not really familiar with, but I know in the couple of episodes that I've seen, people are really not trustworthy of one another.
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't start out that way.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was having a discussion. I would try to save everybody until
you
get screwed over.
You'd think that's what people would want to do, is, save and protect.
Shit just got real and we need to help each other, but that's not how it works.
Yeah. And you know what? Numbers do help. Numbers obviously help to have, but at the same time, my life experience has definitely taught me to keep your group tight,
and
definitely feel out like the intentions of people and, screen them to the best of your knowledge.
I mean, if you have your boys and your
That's
girls,
what I'm saying.
I mean, look at Rick and Daryl.
Yeah.
They're
Michonne, Carol. Like, Carol is still playing her little goody two shoes, serving lemonade and iced tea to everybody.
What's his face? So, like, I think he sees right through it.
I think so too, because he asked her if she was a cop too with Rick.
He asked her that?
Yeah, Morgan asked her. He goes, "Are you a cop too?"
The Kung Fu legend.
Yeah, well,
I want to find out where he learned. Like, he had a team up with Bruce Lee's son or something like that.
He's hanging out with Leonardo.
Donatello.
Donatello, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was hanging out with the Ninja Turtles.
Him and that bow stick, doing work with that bow stick.
Oh,
so.
Splinter.
We can't drag them into the zombie apocalypse.
Man,
that So, no specific questions for these people. Where'd you come from?
Yeah, well, I want to know the basics.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from? Why are you so dirty?
Well,
I want to understand.
We have shampoo in aisle 6.
I want to know. Are you dirty because you're not you're out fighting, so you're laying in the dirt and you're shooting up zombies, or are you dirty because you're a negative part of your group? You're a straggler, and people, you couldn't fend for yourself.
Did we get banned? Did we get pushed out?
Yeah, you guys were laughing at me.
Damn. Well, it sounded funny initially.
When you hit us with the "Why are you so dirty?" We haven't had electric or running water. Pretty sure that all the ponds are kind of contaminated. Try not to go in those. But yeah,
that's a good one.
I like that.
I want to know, if you're
Have
gonna.
you been banned?
Yeah, I want to know if you're, groups of 2 or a group of 1.
What are your intentions? How long do you plan on staying for?
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan on staying? What are your contributions?
Right. What do you know?
Yeah. How many people have you killed? You go with Rick's theory. How many people have you killed? Mm-hmm. Actual living people.
Yeah.
I notice you have weapons and you look like you know what you're doing. So,
I've noticed that they haven't turned anybody down when he asks him those questions.
Right.
Even that, because everybody generally killed somebody, like a human. Bob, it was a girl asked him to.
Right.
Gabriel the Priest.
Right.
He said he didn't. He didn't kill any zombies. He didn't kill any people. Nothing. But he still was allowed into the group, whether it was because he had a church.
Man, that guy Gabriel, he just bothers me. Father my ass.
Yeah. I don't understand his deal. He's wearing his, his outfit. He's not wearing his, his priest outfit. He's changing his mind. He's saying Rick's a bad guy. Then he agrees with, was it Deanna?
Yeah.
That, he was wrong about Rick.
Yeah, I just don't like him, period. It doesn't really matter.
Douche.
Thoughts on some of the new characters that were introduced. I was so happy that Carter did not make it to another episode.
Yeah.
Funniest thing.
It was fitting the way he went. I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that whole...
I would have done it sooner. Like, as soon as he got bit, I would just...
Well, that's it. The whole black and white thing there where they went, from him talking to Morgan and Morgan saying, that's not the person you are, and all this stuff and everything. And then having... that lead to that scene where he gets bit and Rick having to be the one who puts the knife in the back of his skull while Morgan's standing there watching him.
Yeah.
They kind of both made that ey contact.
He knew.
Yeah, you could see that unspoken dialect between them two, When I was going through the tweets last night, one of the funniest tweets was by Herschel Green, and it was right after, I believe, Clark had died, and he tweeted, Clark Griswold didn't teach Papa Giorgio anything about walkers. And it literally, it floored me. I was like, Papa Giorgio? And then I had to remember, this guy was in National Lampoon's, he was Rusty.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I saw the commercial. There was a commercial on it, and I saw him in the commercial. I had no idea that guy who he was.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was Rusty.
He was Rusty. So he was definitely Rusty because he died.
Oh, God.
So yeah, thank you, Herschel Green, because you made me laugh my ass off last night.
That was a good one.
Heath, I like Heath, one of the new characters.
You see the guy with the glasses?
He's the one with the glasses and the hair pulled back. Yep. He's the one where he met Eugene at the gate. Had that funny little dialect there.
He grew on me.
Yeah,
after the lie came out, you hated him for a little while, but he's
a man with a mullet.
He's funny. The mullet makes the whole character.
And he's like,
his personality's so dry, it's hilarious.
Right.
Like, it's so dry that it's funny.
And he likes your hair. He's like, I like your hair game. The guy just looked at him like, what? Hair game? This is a zombie apocalypse. What are you talking about? Hair game.
It's all about the hairstyle.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I just, I like Heath. I like this character. I like where the whole storyline's going, with they're trying to pull off this plan that Rick had. And you just knew everything was just going way too good. Mm-hmm. You just knew that something...
It was perfect. I did not think it was going to go like that. I didn't understand it.
I had that feeling, man.
I didn't understand what they were trying to accomplish throughout the episode. I was like, okay, I guess they're trying to lead him a certain way, but one thing goes wrong, somebody sneezes the wrong way, and this is all going bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They, they were supposed to bring them to the green zone, and then Daryl and oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Abraham, but they were supposed to take them another 20 miles out to wherever. Who knows? Now, I mean, we'll never know.
Yeah.
Because someone sounded a horn, a loud horn.
I have no...
Sounds like a tractor-trailer horn. To me, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like a horn that you would hear from a tractor-trailer. And what makes me think about tractor-trailers, my buddy? What do you...
Your buddy.
No, I mean you.
I thought you were talking about a character inside. So I'm like...
No, my buddy, he was a little toy that they made back in like the 90s.
I don't think it's the wolves because I don't think they're wise to what they're trying to do.
Really?
it's just unless they were tracking them and saw what they were trying to do, saw them building the wall. Because this all happened premature because it was supposed to happen the day after.
Right.
True. If you heard, well, I forget who said it, but they had said it was supposed to be a dry run. Then the truck fell off the ledge, and then everybody had the green light, and it was on.
Right.
I think it's somebody on the inside. I think it's somebody. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe because there's no power anywhere, so it's clearly not an accident.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's not like it's definitely to me. It has to be a horn from it sounds like an air horn from a truck.
Right.
When I think about that, I think about the trailers the wolves had, and also they're wolves, which makes me think that they were watching them the whole time.
That's a good point.
They were being watched. They're a wolf pack. You
always have these good ones, man. I didn't even think of that. That's a good point.
It's just how they operate.
Yep.
And other than the wolves, I'm thinking.
You had a good one before that you told me.
Father Gabriel.
That was one I didn't think about.
And then.
But he was transitioning to. Like he was digging the grave, and then Rick got all pissed off about something. He's
like my sleeper pick.
Yeah.
Would be Father
Gabriel. Was the other one that you had said?
What's it? That idiot's son.
The son, yeah.
Ron.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wanted they wanted his father to be buried or whatever, and this and that. And Rick didn't want to do it, and then they ended up doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's either bad blood. He's definitely not there. He's not a part of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So and Carl's back at the compound, and I'm just like, if it is that kid, if it is that kid Ron, Carl should just shoot him.
Yeah.
Come on, Coral.
Yeah, he did it before.
Coral.
He did Coral.
Coral. Shoot him, Coral. I mean, come on. Coral. You didn't even exist in the episode last night, Coral.
No.
Coral.
It's a good thing because
I can't say Carl.
He used to drive me insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the farm when he started being a
little disobedient
dick
bastard kid
to his father.
Yeah.
It's just I was hoping he got bit somewhere.
I think it would definitely. I think the majority wanted Carl to be bitten, and then after he got shot, and then everybody's like, "Oh, Carl got shot, whatever," and now he's.
Oh
whatever.
no, he's a little guy.
Then I felt bad when he had to off his mom.
That was hard. I mean, obviously, I'm saying it's very all nonchalant, but putting yourself in that situation, like.
Sorry,
but he came out like a cold-looking dude.
Yeah.
Like but almost like it didn't faze him. He just walked right out.
Yeah. And then he went through
it's something you got to do,
He went. Well, let's say he went through a really hard transition at that prison.
Mm-hmm. They all did.
Yeah, but him especially though. I mean, he was really just cold-hearted
That's when your boy
killer.
Died.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Herschel.
I still like to believe that if Herschel was around, Rick he would have that balance.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think
I think Morgan is
Morgan and Daryl.
Daryl. Yeah, like we said that he made that transition. Daryl, but now that Morgan's back and he's all zen and calm,
right.
and he's trying to pull Rick back.
Yeah,
he realizes that Rick went a little bit too far.
Right,
he's being a little bit too cold.
Yeah.
So I think Morgan is seeing. He's like by telling him like this is not who you are. Like
yeah. And
I know you. Like what Rick did to him when Morgan was gone. Yeah,
right.
with Clear.
Right.
Yeah, I think Morgan's trying to pull him back, trying to be the voice of reason.
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
We got another.
So you think it's gonna make it the horde of 1,000 corpses is gonna make it east?
I'm definitely. Yeah, there's no stopping it. Whoever, unless they silence that horn. But even if they do that, the amount of zombies that are in the woods now, off the track, how do you get them back?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just leading up to them, like you say, having to be on the run again.
Yep. I think it's a wild card. I don't think it's going to be anything that we realize.
Right. Of course.
A person who did this. I like even the characters that we mentioned. In my opinion, I don't think it's any of those.
Really.
Like I think it's going to be somebody that we're not expecting.
Black horse somewhere.
Like Carol or something like
that.
No,
God. Please, Carol, don't do that.
Don't do that.
You already pissed off enough people with burning the prisoners.
Oh, yeah, she learned a lesson from that. That's true. I don't know.
All right, so that's we'll finish off with our scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, of course, what are you going to do when the zombie apocalypse happens and you're out and about?
Mm-hmm.
And you end up running into what I would like to say would be the average person who's not well versed in many things. When you meet this person, do you just leave them by the wayside, or do you say?
But what's many things as far as job? Because job would be an importance. I mean, you could be an office clerk, you can be an electrician, you can be a security guard. Like that,
right.
that type of well versed.
And well versed in like, what are you? How long you've been surviving this long? What have you learned?
Yeah.
Or have you just been hiding in a hole?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you just been and letting other people feed you, take care of you, supply what you need for you, So it's like, what makes you valuable to my group?
Right.
What have you learned? What can you do?
Yeah.
That we would want you. So I guess that would, that's pretty much what we're saying is, if you're in that situation, do you take the chance at bringing someone who's not, well versed in anything really, and they've just been kind of, letting others fend for them, so do you bring that person in and then try to teach them? And
what would you do? Or you want to wait until next week?
No, I'll do it right now. I'll do it quick. Depending on, it would have to, obviously, it would depend on a few things. It would be depending on age. It would be depending on the physical, like, physical ability of the person, the way they looked. Is this person like just some kind of, overweight fat slob who's just going to weigh me down or weigh down a group, or is this person like a younger, fit, person who looks like that they would be able to learn and, be a contributor to the group. So more than likely, once they answer my questions, which would basically be, very similar to the ones Rick asked because they're basic and they're to the point.
Important.
Very important.
Right.
Yeah. Like, why did you have to kill real people? How many zombies have you killed? What situation were you in? And, and obviously why.
And they carry around a little ticker.
Yeah.
So, that's one.
But I more than likely, I would probably take someone in so that they could learn our way.
Right.
It's kind of like when you find a job, and you're getting a job that you're not experienced in.
Right.
A lot of employers are like, well, that's good because we can teach you our way, and then you learn their way of doing things. So I would probably, more than likely, take someone in, depending on, like I said, I'm not going to obviously push old people aside and be like, no, you're old.
Yeah.
Because old people have...
Is that a walker? No.
Old people have knowledge.
You can stay behind.
They're very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
In certain things. You never know.
You got to have your Herschels and your Dales.
So I'm saying home remedies.
Yeah.
And maybe, just old time wisdom.
Yep.
So.
Very important.
Yeah.
I think the most important questions for me would be jobs. Like, what did you do before this? Because, I mean, you can have an engineer, you can have a cop who, I'm not really well versed in weapons and fighting and all that stuff, so he can help me with that. So, or, I do electrical work, so that would be my area. You can have somebody a plumber who may know how to filter water and do all that stuff. True. And you know what I mean? So those would probably be the most important questions.
So you want career-based people?
Yeah, basically. I mean, obviously body type and their physical appearance is, what I think they could bring to the table. That's important because you don't want anybody dragging you down. But
yeah, of course.
I think it's very important to.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it's a good outlook on it. I like it.
So job titles are important even after it's all gone.
Yeah. Can I see your resume? Well, sorry, I haven't had time to make one.
Well,
killing zombies.
Not gonna be here then. Sorry.
We need it on resume, people. No. Only.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Yep.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. As always, we appreciate it, and definitely give us feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell us what you want us to talk about more of. Tell us if we suck. Tell us if you love us. We'll take both, and we'll roll with it. Because we're not going anywhere anyway. We already told you this.
Hell no.
We're doing this in a basement of a house, and it's for us anyway.
Yep.
We're just here to, see if you enjoy it too.
Yep. We did get a good reaction though.
We did.
I was happy.
Yeah. I was happy.
I had like a 20-minute conversation with someone. I think she was from Texas or something like that. It's pretty cool. Just about what we were doing. She thought it was awesome.
Hey.
She wanted to know if we had shirts and stuff, but we are setting that up.
Yeah, we are. Website is coming soon. Yeah. Hopefully, we can bang that out by the new year. The new year.
Coming soon.
I mean, the new year, new us. That would be great.
We got to thank our special guest, Vanessa.
Yes, thank you, Vanessa.
Golf clap. Yay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all your input and insight.
I was very excited to be here. And I look forward to my week off, whenever it happens, to spend watching catching up on The Walking Dead.
Bring your graduate degree in a
Yes.
zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'll bring it
Degree
because then
cut.
I'll be able to.
Yeah.
I'll qualify
Oh,
for your group.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm
You're
not
well
sure
qualified.
what exercise physiology. I could make your people more fit
Yeah.
Come
to
on.
fight the
Come on. You
zombies.
basically just answered your own question with
Yeah.
that.
Keep us fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Like, don't eat that. No.
No.
But it's the last Krispy
Yeah.
Kreme. It's the last Krispy Kreme on
Get
earth.
that berry out of your mouth. It's protein time.
All right. So as usual, hit us up on Twitter.
Yep.
Beast Mode @BeastModeNY. Gmail, same thing. BeastModeNY@gmail.com.
Yep.
And our Facebook page. Find us on Facebook. And
Thank you for listening.
thank you. Appreciate it.
And we'll catch you guys next Monday.
Sunday, Monday, something
Sunday,
like that.
Monday.
Whenever we have time.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely be a week from Sunday, Monday.
Sunday, Monday.
Of course. Peace.